In today's Quarantine Chronicles, I catch up with Timbers keeper Jeff Attinella. We talk at-home workouts, how the MLS is creatively trying to return, and something that you sports-loving parents are definitely going to want to tune in for because it could help your little one stay entertained during this quarantine.
And then with a 3.5-year-old, she's just like crazy energy. So I've been trying to run around, keep up with her, keep her entertained, and help out my wife as much as I can. And you fill in a workout, you get your workouts in. I get mine in throughout the day. I might start it in the morning when everyone's asleep and then end it by the time everyone goes to bed.
3.5 years and 3.5 weeks. Jeff Attinella and his wife Kendall certainly have their hands full.
It's been keeping me pretty busy, to be completely honest.
You mentioned how much time you have allotted right now to the kids and to helping out your wife. How have you been able to also, in the midst of this, prepare to potentially play a soccer season?
It's definitely been challenging because, it's the life at home right now is all consuming. But at the end of the day, it's our job. We're all waiting for that phone call. We're all excited about the idea that we can get back on the field. So I think that we're all just excited to get that phone call. And I know that when I get that phone call, I want to be more than ready to get back out there and put my best foot forward. Getting back on the field is really all the motivation you need to find workouts however you can do it throughout the day.
So what are some of the workouts that you've found?
Our team's been sending us workouts that we need to do. For my position specifically, it's a lot of plyometrics and jumping. And it was funny because at first, I'm like jumping on tree stumps or jumping on my daughter's tables or just some pretty unsteady surfaces, trying to make the most out of it. But finally, I had enough wipeouts where I reached out to the team and they sent me a plyo box. And the Timbers have been taking such great care of us players.
What have you heard from the MLS, from your organization, from the rumor mill of what this could look like and when it could pick back up?
The league is trying to, I think what every league has to do right now is try to find a creative way to make it work. And the one thing that I think everybody involved in sports right now knows is that the world needs sports.
As a player, you will have to interact with somebody else at a pretty close proximity. So as a player, how would you feel safe, I guess, doing that?
I'm pretty fortunate that I'm a goalie, so I kind of stand on my own a lot. But no, I mean, I believe, if you look at sports throughout this whole process, is the leagues have looked out for player safety above everything. As a player, for me personally, I've actually taken a lot of confidence in is that for the sports leagues to shut down in the fashion that they did means that they're really putting player health and player safety as a top priority. So I'm not really too worried about them rushing us back and risking our health, because I just don't really see it that way. So for me, that hasn't even really crossed my mind just because of the way everything's been handled so far. The inspiration for the whole series was our first book was The Curse Ends, the story of the Chicago Cubs in 2016. And, it was just really fun as it was happening. It was one of those spark moments where, the whole generation that's just being born into this world now isn't going to know that the Cubs aren't supposed to win the World Series. So we felt like it was important to pass the story down to the younger Cubs fans so they know about the history and the suffering that they went through.
And just like that, It Had to Be Told was born.
The books, they tell the stories of historical moments in sports that we felt shouldn't ever be forgotten. That's why we really love the name of the company, because It Had to Be Told is essentially saying, it should always be told, it should never be forgotten, and it should be stories that are passed down through the generations.
Timbers keeper Jeff Attinella, a Florida native and massive Tampa Bay fan, says the idea came to him while he was holding his then newborn daughter, wondering,
how am I going to convince my daughter that this is the team that she needs to cheer for, especially if we're living across the country? So I just started writing a fun little Tampa sports thing in my phone, and it rhymed and it flowed. And then that idea just kind of festered the whole day. And then, about 4 days later, I had the Cubs book written and we decided to make a company out of it. So it all happened pretty fast.
Remy is 3 now and will tell you that Tom Brady, who she knows about from her daddy's book,
and I've read that book a few times. I'm not even going to lie.
And the Buccaneers are going to the ship. Now, which ship? That may take another book to explain.
They announced Gronkowski, And so I just started running around my house saying that we're going to the ship, like we're going to the ship. And then my daughter started saying it and singing it out loud. And it was pretty funny. At the end of the night, she looked at me so sad, and I said, "What's wrong?" She's like, "We never went to the ship."
I can just hear that conversation happening now, and I'm pretty sure, Jeff, this makes you morally obligated that if Tom Brady and the Bucs do win the Super Bowl, the book that commemorates the occasion has to involve some sort of pirate ship. Otherwise, Remy's going to be mad at you for quite some time. Now, parents, if you would like to get your hands on some of Jeff's books, he's made them available for free as ebooks. You can find that link to his website in the caption below, and he has all 5 books up there if you'd like to purchase them.